Good morning. It's Sunday. It is the day after yesterday, and which is always the case. And I'm going to be doing fiber optics and lighting today. And this is why I put all this stuff in before I went to bed last night, because I knew I couldn't resist playing around with it, and I wanted to let it set up overnight. But I gotta tell you, when you have mornings like this is exactly the type of thing I would be playing with. That's why I wanted to stop. But these are the untrimmed LEDs. They're just poking out through the bottom of the hull. These will be the ones that are double blinking. But I gotta tell you, that is so sweet. Those lights are right on scale. These are the 0.10 fiber optics. And they are, when they do their blinking thing, they are going to be just sweet as meat. So, and I just have them temporarily situated. This is why, this is the type of playing around I knew I'd want to do. That's why I let things heal up. But look at this for a second. This is the lower planetary sensor, and I've got them all bundled here. But just look at how neat that is. When those get trimmed off and put under the hull, those are going to be sweet. And here is, if I can set this up, this was a little bit more delicate. Okay, these are the upper. How well they're showing up here, but these are the upper double blinks. That's just the right scale to me. Putting bulbs up through there, I think, would have been overly huge and distracting. Today we're going to put the strip lights in the windows of the lower saucer, and then we're going to bundle up and route and wire the bulbs for the fiber optics. And hopefully, if we have time past all of that, we will get the either the nacelles wired in, or get the saucer actually in place on top of the body. I think we'll be doing good to get this small amount of wiring done, because it's exacting work. It's not something you can rush through. You rush through your wiring, you run the chance of doing some damage down the road that you're just not going to be able to get to and repair. I'm going to try one more thing before I shut the camera off for a second. This is the bridge module. And you can see those are the 1 mils coming out of there, and then that's ganged up with that spot there, or that strobe. So next thing we'll be cleaning up the table first, getting rid of a lot of painting supplies that we won't be needing, and I'm going to put out just what I need to do the light strip around the inside of the saucer. Okay, the desk has been cleaned, the painting supplies have been put away. The next thing we're going to do today is going to wire up the strip lights for the saucer, and maybe the source lights for the LEDs as well, or from the LEDs for the fiber optics as well. I've got one wired in already for the lower planetary sensor lights, and the next step is to lay out the strip lights. Let me make sure I am where you can see it. Okay, right about there. I've got a mixture here of strip lights. I've got red. I've a set of red strip lights, obviously, for the impulse engine back there. I've got two of the Paragrafix HD LEDs. They have twice as many lights per inch as the others. And they're going to go in these back two sections, the two smaller sections of windows that are only an inch across. And then I've got these that I got from Evans Lighting that are a strip light. They're a strip LED like you've seen before, but they're not the Paragrafix brand. What I like about these in particularly is the lights are evenly spaced on the strip. The Paragrafix are very nice, but they have two on one side and then one kind of off center from it. And I think the evenly spaced ones will give me a better result for what's going to happen behind each of these banks of windows. And so the next step is to cut lengths of wire and tin up the connections and wire them up, and that's where we'll be next. Hello, we're back, and I've got the string of lights lit up. I've got them wired together. They got the red for the impulse deck and the white segments put together. And the next step is to attach them into the inside of the saucer. Okay, I think I'll show you the pretty side of the top of the saucer before I show you the ugly underside. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Now the double blinks are not hooked up. This is just the lights that are on constantly. Sweet, huh? Now the underside, not too bad. Not too bad. That's maybe 1, 2, 3 bulbs. One in the center. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 bulbs. There are 4 lights, but not more of a spaghetti of fiber optic than a spaghetti of wiring. It's all pretty simple. It comes down to those 2 connections. And something else you haven't seen yet. Give me a second. This is the window lights. It's been a while since I've had the windows uncovered, so I thought you might like to see how the window lighting turned out. Let me double check, make sure I've got no wiring exposed. Plug that into the base. That's the circuit. Ta-da! That's the windows. Pretty well illuminated on both sides and below. And we still have some wires hanging here. And let me spot the dish. Pop the dish back on here. Looking pretty good. And that is the ugliness going up into the hull. Now I turned on the circuit board earlier by mistake, but let's just see. That's those lights. That's the circuit board effect. And that's the 2 neck lights that are pulsing. And there are lights under here that you can't see because they're blocked still. I got a light leak there I need to take care of. Okay, but progress is happening. Okay, this is from the Too Neat Not to Do It file. You can see a bunch of wiring that's strung up temporarily because I wanted to see how this looked. Now the fiber optics still need to be trimmed, but look at that. I definitely think that fiber optics was the way to go, rather than trying to run bulbs or individual LEDs to all of these. Zoom back out. That is just, oh, I couldn't tell you how sweet that is, but I like it. Ooh, light's so pretty. This is the bottom saucer, and again, just jerry-rigged up to the board so you can get an idea of how sweet those double blinks are. And a quick show here, as soon as I get some stuff out of the way, to show you what the strip lights, how they work, how they look, and how the windows look all lit up. Hold on a second. This is not easy to do one-handed. There's the general illumination lights with the strips in the windows lighting up very nicely. The sorry, I'm jerking this all over. This is the deflector dish, or I'm sorry, the deflector dish. Know your parts, Lou. This is the impulse engines. You could see I did take off the bottom two sensor bands because I couldn't resist seeing how they looked, but I'm leaving the top one in place because that's closest to that seam that needs to be addressed. This is what it looks like on the inside. A lot simpler than the top, but then again there are less lights in the bottom. So the next step will be to attach this to the secondary hull and run the wiring. And it's mid-afternoon. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight or not. So if I come back and it looks like I did, then surprise, surprise, I did. Oh, guess what I did? Yes, I couldn't resist it anymore. I've often said my impatience is one of my least favorite qualities, but this time I just had to do it. I've seen enough of these things in pieces that I really wanted to see it all put together. And that's the saucer. When they say that saucer joint attaches to the neck precisely once, believe it. That joint, it's a masterful connection, but boy howdy, it is only going to go on once, and this time I didn't snap those little pins off like I did on my first build. When you get ready to put those two pieces together, be sure you are ready for those pieces to never come apart, because it does make a good solid joint, but I tell you, it is permanent. Now, some of these views you're going to see look nice because they are they don't highlight the unfinished parts. Let me turn this upper light off. How about those impulse engines? Let me get a focus on those. How about those impulse engines? A little bit saucy on video, but not nearly so in real life. We've got the pulsing neck lights, which I think if I were to start a punk band, I would call them the pulsing neck lights. Let me loosen this up. Look at that. From this particular angle, the ship is finished. Because all the unfinished stuff is off camera. No, that's not true. I still have the painting of, that painting of the strong back is going to be a challenge now that the neck is on. I should have thought of that. Dummy, you should have thought of that. because that's going to be a challenge to get an airbrush in there, but some people love a challenge. I laugh in their faces. The challenge is not the people. And from this angle, the ship is mostly done. But look at that. Look at the blinking strobes, the double blink, the LED, I keep calling them LEDs, the fiber optics. The fiber optic was the exact right choice for that. And that tenna control board is just beautiful as far as doing the double blink it needs to do. And my rim windows look good. The lights are spilling up the side. Those look good. The sensor, now I'm going to put the decal that I do like from the set, I'm going to put over that. But you can see those lights shining and giving a little spotlight effect. Oh, happy, happy, joy, joy. For those of you old enough to remember Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Look at that. Okay. One good beauty pass, and then we're shutting it down because I need to tighten up some of this wiring and figure out how I'm going to paint those drawbacks. And there's the shot of the orange vinyl, orangey yellow, same difference, vinyl in position under. I just removed the tape that was on top of it, the transfer tape that had been there all along. So we can see what tight quarters we're going to have to be in when we go to paint that area.